voice at me.
See my eyes on see the things many people no fit understand. I'm cold and shivering.
I love this beat.
See my eyes on see the things many people no fit understand.
For me, the game of life, I had a little transitional period in school. Like, obviously, like I said, I think on a previous episode, I was never always the most academic. Like, I was smart, but I didn't apply myself. Too distracted. Like,
Absolutely not.
want to go and run up and down, want to go and mess around. I'm there chatting. Like, I just want to play in it. Like, I just want to play thing.
Play, yeah.
So, but then throughout, I think it was when I got to like just before like sixth form, like year 11, there was a shift. I don't know what happened, and it's not like someone said something to me or I don't know. I got some news that I weren't really feeling. It was just literally just like a click of the fingers, and now I'm this kind of person. And basically, I started working out how to play the game of life, and basically with like the sports course and that, it was straight like distinction, star, something. And that was enough for me to gain UCAS points to go uni. And then same with like my other course, like travel and tourism or whatever. That was just to kind of boost it up a bit more, just to give me a bit more, I guess. Zhuzh, yeah. Just to snazz it up a bit more. You get me right? He does sport, but he does that. Yeah. And again, that was a BTEC course, and I worked out very quickly in that one. Bang out all the work, all the coursework as quickly as you can, and then you'll secure the grades. I think for that one, I just needed a distinction or something, or even a merit, and then I cut through.
Was that when I was at school? BTECs weren't seen as anything. BTECs was where the people that ain't got no brain go, respectfully. So when the time came and you already did your selection and you came home and told me that you're going to be studying these two BTECs, I remember I hit the roof. I went straight into the school to talk to the teacher, and he was one of you, I can't remember who he was, but he broke it down to me. I said, actually, relax. It's not like that again. It's not like that. It's all a point system now. And it's not about grading. It's about just accumulating the points that's going to get you enough to pass and cross that threshold into uni. So as a parent, you know, we've spoken before about getting into your child's world. I don't, just to sort of go back a bit further, when it came to secondary school, I was looking at all the academic rated schools. Yeah. Not to say that, you know, schools are not in the business of not being academic. It's the whole point of school to go and get your academia. But I always knew the school you were going to get, which is the one you got. But I had these aspirations based on the schools I probably thought I should have gone to. So then now, fast forward, you get your GCSEs, you're going to sixth form. I'm thinking the same way. I'm like, we need to be doing this. I did A-levels, you need to do that. And that was a good learning curve for me, because it's helped me then support other parents that have come to me in my job and outside of that, to help them to say, let your child lead in essence. Go with their strengths. Because like you said, you always in top set. You might not have been the brightest, or not the brightest. You might not have applied yourself to get the grades. That's what it was.
The smarts was there. It just wasn't unlocked yet.
Yeah.
But you know what it is as well? Our environments were different. So I'm in top set with, get me, they're Niki, man, that's their desire to be the smartest youth in the world, or to be a lawyer. Their parents want them to be prime ministers and doctors and all of that stuff. I'm trying to go and chill with the man. I'm like, this is long. You know what I mean? But even putting me in that environment though, changed my outlook on certain things, because I'm being now exposed to a different mindset of thinking. Like, it's good to chill with the man or whatever, lunchtime, after school, before school. But during school, I'm with the corporate man, so to speak. But then it's like, it's mad, because it's a bit of a side note, but all them men that were in top set, like around the time I was or whatever, back into some of them, like nowadays, or I hear from the man them nowadays, them men have fallen off. Like, they've gone on different routes. But anyway, I think that even me, I was a bit late on that kind of, because I'm just here to chill. I'm just football and have fun, and that's it. You know what I mean? But then naturally, birds of a feather, you kind of get put into that simulation with them. So when it comes to that side of things, and again, wanting to be that guy, if you weren't that guy, I went all boys school. So if you weren't that guy, you're kind of a nobody. And you have to be that guy in all walks of life. So whether it's on the football court, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on the roads, whether it's wherever, you've got that status to upkeep. And I think using that, and I guess having that transition that I spoke about of right now is where I need to knuckle down. I kind of merged the two together. And then now I've taken that onto uni. The same thing happened at uni.
Yeah.
But then it's also happening in my football life as well. Went to Watford, done a madness there. And then it's like, now that's kind of innately in me now. So I have to be a hustler. In anything I do, I'm hustling and outworking you. Like, it don't matter. It don't mean, not like what they say about like talent and that, like talent, hard work beats talent if talent don't work hard. That kind of thing. Like, I'm talented, but in the game of life, I may not be as talented as most, or not that kind of talent anyway, but I'm a hard worker, and I'm going to make sure that, you get me, if I have to take more corners than you to get to the same route, I'm still going to be able to get there before you, no matter what. You know them mad pictures that they'll show, like a meme, it'll be like, people think life is this to this, but then really life is like this, all of that. That's kind of my thing. So it's like, I'm doing all of those mad little maneuvers, but I'm still going to get to where I need to get to before you, or whatever.
And I think that work ethic has carried you through a lot. There was that switch at sixth form. Even the teacher said it. Who knows where that came about? Divine intervention, maturing, like getting older, feeling out of the formal system, feeling that you're in sixth form, you're a bit more like, or not, more free and more independent. I don't know, but it's carried, because then when you went to uni, you went into overdrive. Like, you'd get your work and you'd bang on it, like literally get it done, and that's it. And I guess in work settings, you've been the same, because the jobs that you've had, you've taken pride in it. And, one of my old deputy heads, he's my good friend, learning mentor. She used to always say, win their hearts, you win their minds. And I think that, in essence, in these different academic and work environments, what you demonstrated won people's hearts, and probably then made them start thinking, he's interesting. Let me give him a chance, or let me see this, let me see that, whatever the case may be. Which is relevant, I guess, when I was talking today with the kids about, yesterday, about when you go to secondary school and they ask for a reference. And then I tried to do like a little simulation of, this is a job interview, tell me about yourself. There's one boy, he's an elite sportsman. And we're talking about how you have to conduct yourself. So I said, okay, imagine I'm a sports scout. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what makes you have good social skills, because that's what you were saying. And then it's sort of like, it's those kind of things that you might have all of the talent, but then the other side of it counts as well. Like you said, the work ethic, charmability, being personable, all those things. And I think you encapsulated all of that. Maybe it was always innately in you, but you made it work for you. You drew those skills in order to get past this stage and enter into the next stage. I guess the game of life is about that. But I think, again, like we've mentioned before, people are very much focused in the right here, right now. And they're not thinking down the line. I've had some good managers in my time, The next manager I had, he used to always say to me, short-term inconvenience, long-term improvement. When he said that to me,
Facts.
I said, yeah, that is a motto for life. Right here, right now, the short term. It's like when I want to wash dishes. Before I go to bed every night, I don't like seeing dishes in the sink. And it rises my brain. Like, I'm like, the dishes in the sink. And most of the time, I wash the dishes before I go to bed. So when I wake up in the morning, the sink is clear. But sometimes if I haven't, and I'll go to bed a bit later because I've washed the dishes. Sometimes if I haven't done that, and I get up in the morning, I might have been a bit late for work or cutting time. I look at the sink and I'm like, why didn't I just do that? That little short-term inconvenience last night would have got me there. So that takes me on to discipline, because that is part of having a discipline, like these things we're talking about, being disciplined. And I guess concepts of discipline or ideas around discipline when you're a child comes from your parents. And then I guess school, I guess sport or whatever. I'm a disciplined person personally, but I'm also like lazy, like a procrastinator. I do feel like there's some aspects of my life, if I was more disciplined, like probably in the fitness thing and not eating as much, I probably would make a lot better moves. However, I guess I've always admired that about you. Sometimes, like even back in the day, football, I'd go and watch it and I'd be like, this. Remember, I was waking up in the morning, it's raining. You go football. You look at me like, have you lost your mind? Of course we are. Like, I guess that's one thing I've admired about you. But where's that come from? Like what? Because that's helped you with the game of life.
But that's just come from my environment, though, innit? Growing up, I've always been around athletes, so naturally I'm gonna resonate towards that the most. Whatever the athletes are on, I'm on that. You get me? Not all the mad stuff like dolphin and all of that, but you know what I mean? Like the discipline in terms of when it's raining, you're still going to kick ball. Like I used to even walk to some of my matches and that when they were like when local ones when I was in like primary school and that, in the rain, in the cold, like marga legs just out there firm in it because I just want to go and kick a ball. Like that's the passion there, innit? But your journey is obviously different. Not everyone's gonna have those same morals, I guess, or principles. Like obviously you're more of a creative and a more books smart person as opposed to the fitness thing
or life,
whereas my thing is more the fitness thing as opposed to the book smart and all of that. Like again, but then it's also about what you put your mind to. I feel like if you was in school maybe when you were younger and that little bit of effort or that little short-term inconvenience, let me just firm this 1P lesson that I don't want to go to. Could have put you on a trail of, right, you know, I actually like this, you know. And then you could have stuck to it forever. Maybe not. Same for me. Maybe if I started delving into some deep, I don't know, fiction books or something like that, that would have put me on a journey of, right, you know, I actually like this. I want to be a writer. I want to be a director. I want to be whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I think the discipline, I see that nowadays. In people, my peers, and in children, there's a lack of discipline because there's a lack of consideration about timing. You know that people say, you know, you can't look at timelines. You can't say by the time you're... Like when I was young, by 25, it was expectation culturally from my own culture, Mauritius, and also in England, that by 25, you're kind of looking to be in a marriage or long-term partnership, live together, white picket fence, kids, couple kids, a pet maybe, and you're in your careers. But the reality of that, we've moved so far from that now. That's like a blip in our memories. Now people say, it's never too late, which it isn't too late. However, it is sometimes. Because like back in the day, if you failed GCSEs, you could retake easily. Now it's harder. Lack of funding, economically in the country is going to pot, it's lack of places. You're getting older, there's other things that come in the way. So it's more worthwhile getting these things, being disciplined from early so that you can tick those things off the books very quickly. Like you did. By the time you were 22, 23, you're a teacher. That's early, 23 years old. And then you think about all the years you've got left to go on the beach and kick a ball if you want. So that short-term inconvenience, that discipline, I think that's been lost. People are online a lot for gaming. I don't even know. Like I just struggle with it sometimes when I'm talking to people. That again, going back to what we're speaking about, like rules and routines and an order, that I feel really works. But it's about getting your mind to understand the reason why. I was going to say, you said something about, I think it was when you mentioned like you were doing something that like your passion. I guess passion would help you develop a routine or an order because you're interested in it. You know, GCSEs, there's like, I think 13 or 14 GCSEs you can achieve. But actually, are you going to use all those 13, 14 GCSEs? You're not. It would be more, for me, in my opinion, it'd be more sensible to have more practical lessons and let the child pick lessons that are probably going to be either a broad skill set or honed in on something that they really like. And I get when you're 13, 14, 15, you're not going to know what you're going to like when you're 25, 26, 27. But, I don't know, finding a passion early, pardon me. Is that key? That is key.
It's key. I think, first and foremost, it's about exposure for kids. Expose kids to as much things as possible.
Absolutely.
Hobbies, interests, adventures, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, experiences. expose them to everything, because one of those things is gonna tick that box for them. Maybe, innit? Maybe not, and then you still have to keep finding out what they like, figuring it out. Once now you figured that out, you help them fine tune that. Right, you like playing the flute, yeah, or you like, I don't know, train spotting, whatever you like, that's your thing.
Yeah.
And then make sure that you put all your energy into them doing that or seeing that at least twice a week or once a week, or just enough of a routine for them to be disciplined about it. See, my thing with the schooling, yeah, I think back to like the whole A levels and that kind of argument. I feel like a lot of kids, I'm probably in that as well, where your mind's just clouded with so much information that everyone's telling you. Your parents are putting pressure on you to get this. Your teachers are making you do all of these mad different topics and subjects, and it's like, bro, I'm not really built like that right now. Like not everyone's gonna be at that same level, and you know, you got people on the spectrum and people that, you know, need support and certain things, and it's like, why don't we just try and fine tune those interests a bit earlier and just make it more specific to that person? If later on down the line they want to end up doing maths but they spent their whole life doing English, then that's cool. But I think in the short term, just simplify a lot of the things that are going on. Because let's say, for example, for me, yeah, I would say for a child, first you find out what they like. When it comes to this whole schooling thing, there's no pressure to go to uni, you know.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. The accolades that gives you in life looks better than not having it. You get me? You want the picture, you want the scroll and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's
Cap
not.
and gown.
You get me? Cap and gown. It's not the be all or end all, especially in this day and age as well.
Yeah.
No one ain't really checking for that. And then obviously you've got the negatives that come with that, or the drawbacks are the debt. Most people go uni and don't really end up doing what they went uni for, and all of those kind of things. And it's 4 years of your life most of the time. That's like where you could be still finding yourself, but now you're forced into this loophole of, I've got to study for 4 years and complete all of these exams that I don't actually really care about, I don't actually like, don't have an interest in. So for me, it will be formal education, obviously finish that to the best of your ability. Yeah. If you don't get the greatest of grades for GCSEs, not the end of the world. Pick a trade and stick to that trade, because we're always going to need tradesmen. Whether you're a plumber, electrician, builder, whatever you want to call it, pick one of those. If you're not feeling none of those, then you kind of have to go back into the education system and do the whole courses and college and all of that stuff. And maybe you take a later uni route or academic route. But I feel like now and that's how you're playing the game of life as well, because not one shoe fits all in it. I feel like people just need to fine tune what they like from early on as possible. But it goes back to that what I was saying, exposure. A lot of people ain't exposed to certain things.
No.
You might not have been exposed to a fitness home life. You get me?
way.
You're coming home and dinner's on the table, fat spread of food. Of course, we're
And tea and biscuits after.
You get me? Desserts and that. Of course, I'm involved because that's all you know.
Yeah.
But now, for example, if you came back home on a Saturday, for example, Saturday afternoon, you woke up, mum and dad are in the kitchen or in the front room doing squats and push-ups, and you're thinking, right, hold on a minute. But that becomes the family thing, and then it's like, right, you've planted the seed now, so that's what I want to be doing, or that's what I need to be doing at least once a week, or at least however many times.
But you said a few things there that I want to come back with.
Bare things.
So the first thing, the mum and dad thing, doesn't that go back to the whole all of it goes back to how the structures, the system set up in England. Same with the education. Yes, in an ideal world, you find what works for you and make that work. But the system is not designed like that. The system tests you. Whether you agree with tests or not, the system tests you. And the British education system is still revered around the world. I always say it as elite because of whatever reputation it had back in the day. Remember, English is the standard that everyone talks about. So the system is set like that. So the one and few that might be able to go like a practical route or whatever, you're still bound to it. You're still judged by it. Parents, they're probably, like say, if you're talking about fitness, for example, is the example, yeah? Most people will be at work doing whatever, they're tired. They come home, they want to be sedentary, they just want to sit down. They're not going to be on that unless they're sports people themselves. And then you're not going to get exposed to it because they also, it's not in their schema, they don't understand it. If your parents are from another country and don't really understand. It's like, I remember when I don't even know how old you were, maybe like 6, 7 years old. I tried to get you to do piano, if you remember. You did not like it, and I wasted a whole heap of money over, I think, about 3 months. I think it was like £30 for half an hour. I was benning. I was like, this boy. He was like, I don't want to go. Then I think your school gave you flute for the year. You just picked it up and put it down. Didn't go back to it. And then, but sport, that was, from, like we said before, from conception to today, that's your thing.
Not to say that was the wrong decisions to be made, though, to make me pick up piano and all of these things. But from when you knew sport was the thing, that's the thing.
No, but the piano, and like you just said, my view was, I always wish I played piano.
Try. Yeah.
I always wish I'd play. And again, that parent thing of trying to make your kids live your dreams, unconsciously or consciously. So I was thinking, yeah, he's got long fingers. He must come play piano because people always say that about me. You're just there like bang, 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 bang. It's dead. No, he didn't say dead, but it's boring. I don't want to do it. I want to go home and play. I want to football. But I do feel like I exposed you to it. So you're coming from a place of being informed. You can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
I tried it. I didn't like it.
Straight.
I've had loads of people tell me, I don't like Dubai. I'm like, no lie. Why? They're like, I just don't like it. It's plastic.
They ain't been there.
And I'm like, oh, have you been? They're like, no. And I'm like, how do you know you don't like it then? How do you know? Okay, you've got the reputation. This is why the reputation precedes you. That's our whole phrase. However, you've not been there to make an informed decision. So exposing kids, I really agree with that. But the system isn't designed like that. Because some people will say the system is designed to control you. There's a school of thought which says schools teach children how to answer tests or something, how to pass tests. Not about critical thinking for themselves. It's rote learning. But then the system is designed like that. So isn't that the best way to teach children? Remember, the system don't want a revolution.
The best way to teach children according to the system.
According to the system.
But there's still a way around it, though. You can still stick within the system's way of learning or way of teaching while still accessing the needs to that person, to that individual. You just got to find a balance of both. So me learning the piano, all right, cool, maybe I didn't need to do it for 3 months, but I feel like you would know from one try.
Yeah.
You only need half an hour to realize, do you like this, do you not? Nah, cool, next one. Do the same again. And then you're working out, I'll fine tuning again what you like. Still going to school though, still sticking to the because they made me do it in school, innit?
No,
The
just flute, yeah.
So
flute was from school.
ultimately, it's still gonna happen over there anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like outside of that setup, you still need to be able to access other things that aren't in line with the system, just for the sake of it. Because why not?
Like supplement.
Yeah,
I always say
kind of
supplement education of your child.
Yeah.
Supplement an income. You can't rely on one income in this economic
Exactly.
climate. Always have to have a supplement, unfortunately. Because life has changed now. Needs have changed. But there was something else you just said, which was, the one, you just need one chance to try. I always loved art, but I never felt like I could draw. And I remember when I was little, I asked my mum to draw me something. I can't remember what it was. I was little. I was at our old house. So this was before I was 7. I remember it. And she couldn't draw it, and I just lost it. I remember crying. I was upset that she couldn't draw it. And she said to me over the years, she felt bad because she was like, I can't do this, and this person's upset. And one of my aunties, she came to look after us one day, and I was colouring in a colouring in book, and she taught me this technique that when you've got a crease, just colour it extra hard because it gives definition. And I think from that, I started doing more drawing myself, and then I became really good at drawing. And I do feel like I'm a good artist, if I do say so myself. But it came with practice. So I guess maybe I started off with an interest in art. But if I just tried it one time and then put it down, I wouldn't have known how far I could have gone.
Yeah, fair enough. But again, no one tries something for the first time and is naturally good at it always. So we're not saying try it to be good at it. We're saying try it to see if that interest can evolve. All right, cool. You might need to go a second time to get used to it a bit more. And then it's just up to you how much you want to judge and how long you want to make this last for until you decide, you know what, that's not the one, work it out. 2 lessons, 3 lessons, by then you should know.
Yeah, I wasted the hell of. I realised too late.
Yeah,
I looked
yeah.
at my bank account and was like, this is fair. I'm
But it's the thing where you never knew that was going to happen. You had to take that risk to see, okay, if my boy's going to like it. All right, cool, I didn't like it. But now you could argue that I've got a more informed knowledge of music.
Absolutely.
From that lesson.
Maybe,
Not from that lesson, but like my music taste is very broad. So the piano lesson could play a part in that.
Yeah.
Maybe, innit?
All feeds into it.
All feeds into it. So was it wasted? Not really, but just because I'm not, who's the piano man? Mozart or someone like that.
Mozart, I think, yeah.
I was going to say Picasso, that's the painting man, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's not totally been wasted. It's
No.
just, it's just.
I mean, it's similar. Like I said, I feel like when I look back, I think I don't see it as a waste. I just say, you're coming. You're informed. You're more informed. I was more informed as a parent. That did not work. Let me chalk that up. Let me charge it to the game, as you say.
Yeah, charge it.
But I guess back to the game of life. These are the things, I guess, like what you're saying. You hone in on. You have to very quickly determine on an individualistic level what works for you and your child or whoever and what doesn't work and cut it out. But I guess if you've got someone that's not academic, you're battling a system that's very academic. Britain is very academic. I went to uni when I was 25 and I only went to uni because I was thinking in 5 years you're 10. And I was in retail, loved retail, did all types of courses in retail, but I thought, he's going to be 10, he's going to look at me and be like, what does my mum do? And I thought, the chain of events happened, ended up at your school working, that was it, that set the chains in motion. And it was something I was good at that I never considered, but I just fell into it. And then 24 years later, I was still in it, still in the same industry. So I guess, yes, there's no timeline in essence, like you might not take a direct academic route, nursery, infants, junior, secondary, college, uni, work. You might come at different stages to doing that, but like you said, it is, for me personally, what I see in society is more beneficial to have credentials, whether it's a trade, whether it's academia, because it's more competitive now. The game of life is like I said, economically the country is flopping, so there's less places, less funding apparently. Even though you've got bare funds for wars that don't involve us, there's less here, supposedly. So how do you put yourself in a competitive position to make you desirable if you haven't ticked the stereotypical boxes, or what do you call it, the traditional boxes, that will get you there? How do you play the game of life if your cards aren't like that? If you've got a difference, you've got autism, you've got whatever. How do you play the game of life in that way? That's a dilemma. Like,
I wouldn't know.
that's what I'm saying.
I would say like, alright, cool. If you're not sticking with the system and doing the whole schooling thing and degrees and that, and you've picked up a trade, you better be the best tradesman in the world.com, because that's the only way you're going to stand out. Which naturally people will take that on and probably believe in themselves that, my company, my plumbing company is going to be the best one, or my trucking company, my electrician company, whatever. So I don't think anyone would fall into those trades with doubt, like, I'm just doing this to the sticker box. Like, that's your life now, innit? You've made it your livelihood as well. So I feel like there's always going to be that issue of being judged for not having those credentials or those accolades from the system. But I think with the way the world's moving, I don't think people are looking into it that much and worrying about it to an extent, because nowadays it's very much about having your own business and being your own boss and not complying with what the system's telling you. You know what I mean?
Entrepreneur.
As much as those be like let's say, for example, being a British national and like studying here and getting your grades from here and whatever, that's all good and well, but there's still people cutting through without that. And a lot of the time people ain't really worrying about that nowadays because they're thinking, nah, I've got my own business. I'm not following what the system tells us to do or forces us to do. People are becoming a lot more woke now as well, innit? That whole woke culture thing. So yeah, I don't think people are checking for it that much.
Let me ask you this then. How much of a part do you think, when I say your environment, like, we all know friends influence us, but in the game of life, and it comes to friends or family or whatever, or how much of a hindrance or support do you think that is, or do you just have to cut them both out? And
On me personally,
either or.
I think, yeah, see, in this life, if you're not getting used, you're useless. And people think me saying used is like I'm using you for something.
Like use and abuse.
Yeah, like use and abuse. No, everyone's getting used for something. You might be getting used for good company. You might be getting used for you're smart. You might be the muscle in the group or whatever the case may be. You're getting used for something. People have you around for something that benefits them, innit? So when it comes to now friends and family, you need to use the good things from those people. Like the fact that you're calling that person a friend, there's something good about them as to why you got them around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So take the good from that. Leave all their bad habits, but take all the good that you can, because now that's going to help you move on to do whatever you need to do. Family members is the same. Colleagues that you run into or people that maybe you just run into in your day-to-day life, take the good from all of those people and leave the bad so that it doesn't hinder anything that you got going on for yourself.
I mean, that takes us back to one of our first points, which is how do you determine which is good and bad if, I guess, you yourself you're not skilled at risk assessing or looking at that? Because my thing is this.
At a basic level, you know what's good and bad.
Yeah, you know right from wrong.
You know right from wrong.
You know right from wrong.
At a basic level.
Yeah.
So when it gets a bit more intricate and detailed, then that's just a lesson you're going to have to learn through life yourself.
So what about when, because naturally this will happen, not everyone's on the same path. Naturally, paths are going to deviate from each other. You're going to get a fork in the road. It's either left or right, or straight ahead, wherever, or backwards for some. That also can be detrimental to your journey in the game of life. Because they say not every man's an island. But honing in on the right influences around you and keeping that consistently, because as we said, you go through different stages, you're naturally going to meet people from different... I'm still friends with my preschool friends. They're not every single day, but we're still cool, we still chat, we meet up. And then I meet people at work. I just met someone, a couple of years, and we become good friends, as what I would consider good friends. So it's not necessarily like, someone that you're carried through your whole life. You're going to meet new people. You're going to separate from people. But I guess in playing the game of life, what am I asking? How do you ensure you don't become an island? Or how do you ensure that you don't deviate so much from
what you know and who you know?
Like your organic sense of self. If that makes sense.
I guess it's more about remembering where you come from, innit? And, okay, cool. Not everyone's meant to make it with you in whatever walk of life or whatever career path or whatever journey you're on. You can't bring everyone to the top, as they say, innit? But don't forget where you've come from, because ultimately without those people, you wouldn't be there for whatever reason, because of what you was using from them back in those days, kind of thing. So, yeah, man, just remember where you're from, remember your roots, but then also know that you're on two different pathways right now, and maybe they'll catch up and join you, maybe not. Some people are meant to just stay stagnant in that situation. That's their simulation. That's their journey. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But that's a hard road to navigate.
Of course.
Because people can be upset about it.
Of course.
People can feel on both sides. People can feel like, you think you're better than us.
Think you're too good. Yeah.
Think you're too nice, or just feel like what you're leaving me behind, or you're separating, or I've had that with my friendships a lot. Even in relationships, it can happen where one person's like going one way and another person doesn't really understand it or not interested in it. Then you got different interests, and then you start what's the word? You start drifting, start drifting apart.
There's a Meat Mill bar, and he goes, "Make it out the hood, they say you're Hollywood." Basically saying like, as soon as you make it out the ends, you forget about everyone and you think that you're too nice.
Say
for
that
everyone.
again. Make it out the
hood. They say you're Hollywood.
Oh, they say okay. Yeah.
So that's naturally gonna come, though, innit? And it's about, like I said, remembering your roots, remembering to check in on those people, give back to those people in the best way, shape or form you can, innit?
Yeah.
Not saying fund their life or you get me, put them on, but put them in a direction or give them wisdom, give them.
Like, say each one teach one. That give back. Do you think that's part of the game of life?
Of course.
I feel like people forget that bit.
Of course, but the give back it's almost like you're rewarding yourself. Like, okay, the reward is to make it out and to be whatever financially stable and all of that stuff. But then the give back is almost like paying your soul, if that makes sense. Like, because why else would you have been the one that had to make it? Okay, cool, you're the chosen one, but then you're forgetting, like, this could have been your reality as well.
Just like pay it forward.
Pay it forward kind of thing, yeah. So.
But I don't know. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people forget that bit. And sometimes I try and talk to people and I'm like, give back. Like, just, again, short-term inconvenience, long-term improvement. We're all very selfish creatures. Humans are selfish. All about self and ego. So it's like love. I don't know if it was you I was talking to the other day about love, and I was saying, we love people because of what they bring to us, how we feel, just kind of what you said. Like, we're using them effectively, emotionally. And as soon as that person then does something you're not happy with, I don't love you again. You get me? And in that sense, in the moment, or as time goes on, people just think about themselves in their little world and don't think about outside. It could be worse. That whole look at everything like it could be worse. But in terms of the game of life, I feel personally that the way to get everyone galvanized is by giving that give back, is by trying to encourage people to come along. Not that I've got the answers, not that you've got the answers. As we've said, everyone makes mistakes. But it's about finding, or maybe we know the rules of the game of life, which is the system, but it's finding the gameplay to get to the end of the game, to clock the game, but in a way that is not detrimental to you. It's beneficial for society, and I guess for your legacy coming on, like your kids and that. But
I'm trying to complete the game of life and give the cheat code book to
give the what? The cheat code.
Give the cheat. We used to play GTA San Andreas. Yeah, this is the old school GTA, and on PlayStation. This was on PlayStation 2, and I don't know how this cheat book came about. I think they used to sell it in the game shop or something like that, and in this book, I think maybe it was in the back of the case. There was something, I don't know. I'll have to ask one of these later. But there were cheat codes, and it's like you press this button, that button, that button, and then you get like $1 million in the bank quickly straight away. You press this button, this button, this button, you get all the guns and.
What, like a legit cheat code?
Cheat book.
Who published it?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember where it came from. I don't know whether it was actually in the game case at the back, or maybe people were doing their little dodgy dealings and used to just send it round. But I had access to it at some point, and that was the key.
Clock the game.
Yeah, that was the key to the game. Like, you do campaign mode normally and that, but just to kind of relate it to life, like, let's say me, for example, people might look at me and think, "Wow, my boys made it, whatever." Haven't, but kind of. And it's like, when I come back to the ends now, it's not about showing off and I'm better than you and all of that. It's about, run me some cheat codes, bro. Like, let me know what you did to get to this, or show me a pathway that I can take to be able to do what you're doing. Or, not saying that my life is the best life ever, but like, there's a version of this life you would like. Yeah. It's working. You know what I mean? So that's part of your give back. You make it, but then you come back, and then that's how you clock the game of life for other people. You get me? Give them the cheat codes, give them little pointers, or give them some game. Like, let them know what. Because certain people don't know what to do. I've had you in my life to tell me what to do and guide me. I've had other people and whatever, but also it's kind of innately in me to be like, I'm naturally a jogger. Like, I need to be on these sort of things. Certain men ain't like that. Certain men ain't built like that.
Yeah.
So it's about you get me, scaffolding their way to the top.
And that's the thing. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like scaffolding is key. We say that in education. It's a scaffold learning. Modeling is part of it. What children, I tell people all the time, and I work with parents, I say all the time, we are modeling things unconsciously to our children, and we won't know what we've modeled until we see that behavior in them. And then we're like, where did you get that from? You got to check yourself as a parent. And there's plenty of little behaviors that you have, like idiosyncrasies, as they say. And I look at it and I'm like, definitely my child. Because that's what I would do. Sometimes I have to question, is that the right thing? Is he being too black and white in things? Is it too harsh? But then I look at myself and think, I've been in survival mode for many years. For, I don't know, what is it, like, can't do the maths. You know, me and maths don't go together. From 18 to now. 30 years.
Call it 30, 25, 30 years.
30 years I've been in survival mode. And it's hard to break that habit. But then when I watch you, who you don't have to necessarily be, you were growing up, but not so much now. And then I see the behaviours, I'm like, so I talk to parents all the time and I say, think carefully about what you're modelling. The smallest conversation you're having on the phone, them little ears are pricked up. Mum said this, dad said that. Those the way you're speaking to each other, what you put importance on.
Not even listening, more like the observing.
The observing as well.
They're watching
It's all of it. It's all the
they'll see it,
kinesthetic stuff that's going on. And then, I guess, you scaffold what you think is the path in the way that you're modelled. Or if there's something innate, like you said, that you are naturally driven to. Because, I think I've said it before, that there are plenty of people who go through life and it works. As you said, like, now you're right, you're making the point of entrepreneurs. There's so many. The internet has been a wonderful thing for them. It's been the devil in a lot of ways for kids and young people, adults, but the same stroke, it's helped people with the game of life. I guess those cheat codes you'll find when you go on TikTok, when you go on Insta.
All right.
You'll be like, that I didn't know that.
All right.
I that thing I found the other day, using ketchup and foil to clean like radiators, chrome radiators if they've gone a bit rusty. I thought, let me try that. And I did it. It looked brand new. I was like, foil and ketchup. Who knew that? That was like a little cheat code. I would have been thinking I've got to replace the whole heater. So, I don't know. I think the game of life is, I do feel like people need to pay attention to that in order to help themselves and others, as you said, to get through and clock the game. But I guess the rules of the game of life, whilst there are some foundations there, or some general rules, you've got, as Dee said earlier, side missions that come in, because you talk about cheating as well. Little side missions that come in.
Of course, there's always going to be side missions.
That give you that little left and right. So, I guess, thinking about the game of life, there's not necessarily one, it's like a board game, I guess, going back to that board game. It was a board game. Take the wins with the losses, but keep your eyes on the prize.
And remember, it's just a game.
And remember, it's just a game.
None of this is real.
You think it's a game?
Simulation.
Lovely.